All right, what is up, everybody? Hey, if you are new to this channel, my name is Craig. Love chatting about Michigan, Wolverines, football, go blue. And started this channel after me and a buddy started another couple channels, actually. But Sports Talk Detroit was the first one. If you're a Lions fan, feel free to head over there as well. But started this because of my deep love for the Michigan Wolverines. Want to give an honest view of what's going on. And I'm going to do that a little bit in this one, but we're also going to highlight something Sherrone Moore does very, very well. He doesn't do everything well, and we're starting to learn that, but he absolutely can do one thing well, and that is recruit. And that's why you see the title of this video talking about how Michigan football is absolutely ready to pounce on Penn State's loss. And that loss comes in the form of top 100 receiver, depending on what recruiting site you're looking at, Khalil Taylor. All right, after 11 and a half seasons, we know Franklin was canned. All right, the era has ended. By the way, can I just ask you this question? What are your thoughts on James Franklin? Is he just a coach that can't win the big game and he's a garbage coach? Or is he actually a really good coach, but he just was coaching at a program that couldn't win big games? Like, when was the last time they won a big game? Penn State with any coach? I think that's the question that I have. I don't know that they're not going to be frustrated with what happens. He has built a powerhouse over there that didn't win big games, but I don't know if the talent was there. Maybe Penn State isn't what it used to be. You had Joe Pa there. They were dominant. You had the whole, I don't want to say it, but the whole Sandusky thing. And then maybe Penn State just isn't that top 5, top 10 elite program that some people think it is. But it could be. It could be. Also, by the way, just a little side tangent at the beginning of this video, because I really want to get into this recruit, because guess where he's visiting first. But anyways, yeah, they're talking about Matt Rule. Yeah, they're talking about Kurt Signetti, Drinkwitz. Like, they're talking about all these big profiles, and everybody's saying, not Signetti, not Kurt Signetti. Like, he will turn that program into a powerhouse. Okay, but maybe somebody else will turn Penn State into a powerhouse, and Kurt Signetti just staying in Indiana has already made them a power. Maybe we'd just rather have one than two. I don't know. Anyways, with all of that being said, he is gone. And if you look in different places, you can see that he has sent Khalil Taylor, this commit, has 7. This is not the right one, but he has 7 visits lined up. All right, one of them with the Oregon Ducks, but it says that he has 7 unofficial visits. He's like, I'm out of here. I wouldn't expect him to quick commit anywhere else. He's going to enjoy his commitment cycle. He said he went to Penn State because of the coaching staff, because they were going to lock in with him. They had one other receiver recruit. This is for the 2027 class. This isn't for next year. This is for the year after. Recruiting has started, and most classes sit at like 3 or 4. Michigan sits at 3. We'll get into that in just a minute. All right, but he has decided that he is going to go on what is rumored to be 7. But guess what? Guess where he's going to be this weekend? He decommitted last Friday, and now the first place he is going to go is to see Michigan play Washington. All right, so he is at the big house. And I understand that Oregon's going, every school in the country is going to go for him after his decommitment from Penn State. He's that caliber wide receiver. He is number 11 and number 14 overall wide receiver, depending on if you're looking at Rivals or 247. He is a guy. And so he is one of those people, and he's either top 100, like 70-something overall, or like 110 overall. So he is a legitimate 4-star recruit. He doesn't do it by extreme size or anything like that. He just is a very good athlete, a very good wide receiver. So everybody and their mother is going to be after this guy. And so he's that kind of high-profile recruit. The question is, do you put any stock on the fact that he's coming here first? That is the question that we have to ask ourselves. I put a little bit of stock in it. All right, so again, this is for the 2027 class. And as it stands right now, Michigan's recruiting class in 2027 has 3 players in it. All right, this is 247. All right, we have a 4-star quarterback, all right, Peter Bork, and that is huge. I always say with a recruiting class, if you can get a high-level top 10 quarterback to that class, they can help recruit the rest of the class. We've seen it ourselves with J.J. McCarthy, and that was a class as juniors went on to win a national championship. So, yes, it is important, and yes, it can absolutely be helpful. Other than that, we have 2 interior offensive linemen. Like, that just makes sense. And actually a recruit from Michigan. Which, by the way, can I just say, let's look at the 2026. We know the whole crazy thing about 2025 is that there is no Michigan players. 2026 doesn't have it either, but it is another solid recruiting class. You have the number 1 running back in the country in Savion Hyder, who has moved up depending on, I think it's in Rivals. He's a top 10 player. Carter Meadows is also a top 10 player. 247 just hasn't released their biggest update yet. So those are the kind of things that we're looking at on the recruiting world that are, hey, maybe. Because Sharon Moore has yet to prove he is a great head coach, but he has proven that he is a great recruiter. He had the number 8 overall class in 2025, his first year on the job when Michigan was struggling on the field. Right? They were struggling on the field. They went 8-5. They were 5-5 at one point, and he brings in a top 10 class. This 2026 class at this point stands as the number 10 overall class. Like, he can absolutely recruit, and you can see the talent on the field and all the freshmen that are playing. I mean, there are tons of good players that are young. The question is the coaching good enough to get them where they need to be? That is the question. And speaking of that, I just need to say it at the end of this video. I am nervous about what Washington's offense is going to do to us. Their quarterback is a dual threat, as dual thready as it gets. I worry about that opportunity that he will have with his legs. Look for a lot of zone coverages. And I hope it's not just this soft zone that we played against USC. And I hope there isn't a blueprint that was created. This is a big game for the Michigan Wolverines. And I've said this before, really good teams don't lose 2 in a row, especially in college football. That's why James Franklin was let go. He lost 3 in a row. And that's why he was let go. And it's not something that you do. It's not something that top 5, top 10 programs do unless they're playing back-to-back elite opponents, maybe on the road or one on the road, one at home. Like, I could see this happening if you have back-to-back games with Oregon, Penn State. In the Big Ten, if you're in the SEC, you could get back-to-back games, Georgia, Tennessee, Bama. You know what I mean? Like, those are the type of things where you could see back-to-back losses for a good team. But it pretty much absolutely ruins a season. And those back-to-back losses aren't to fringe top 25 teams that aren't yet in the top 25, USC and Washington. So anyways, with all that being said, I think Washington's coming over here with something to prove. But hopefully we have a bad sour taste in our mouth from last year. All right. Thanks for watching this. Hope you enjoy it. More recruiting news coming your way. See you later.